Our gospel reading from Mark last Sunday, we heard about the opposition Jesus faced as he began his ministry in Capernaum along the Sea of Galilee. The scribes came from Jerusalem. They were the smart people of the time, and they said he had a devil, so keep away from him. And he also faced the surprising opposition from his own family, who came down from Nazareth to take him home because they think he's out of his mind. This is how Jesus Christ, God himself, is received when he entered our fallen world. That's what Mark Gospel says. Even his own did not receive him. Now, last week's first reading from the book of Genesis, you may recall, described the tragic fall of humanity. Adam and Eve hide from God in the Garden of Paradise after their disobedience, and they're expelled from the garden. But the reading ended with the promise of redemption. Evil won't triumph. God will come. God loves our fallen world no matter what. In this Sunday's Gospel from the 4th chapter of Mark, Jesus responds to the opposition he faced beginning his ministry. His response is the parable of the sower. It's an interesting parable. It seems to call us back to the garden again, where there's life and beauty and growth. God's love for our world is like an amazing springtime, Jesus says. Like a great sower, God bestrides the world, sowing seeds of life that grow mysteriously and unannounced, bringing new life of every kind. God will have a garden, no matter what. God will have a garden where there's life and not death. God's love is greater than human sin and disobedience. Now, Jesus told the parable of the sower at the Sea of Galilee, looking out into the rich farmland around the sea. It was rich farmland then, and it's still rich farmland now. The people he spoke to fished the sea and farmed the land. They knew firsthand the mystery of how seeds like the mustard seed grow. They knew that the soil, the weather, the environment have a part to play in the seed's growth. But every year they counted on the harvest. It was bound to come. But now we hear the parable of the sower today. We're looking at another kind of world. A world that's not as optimistic, perhaps, as the world that once heard Jesus. Some of the smart people of our time. I'm thinking of that eminent scientist, Stephen Hawking, who died not long ago. They say that there may not be another springtime in our day. Our world is headed for extinction. So let's look for survival on another planet. Now, some also don't want to see the present danger at all, and that can be just as bad. But we know our environment, which nourishes the seeds of life, is endangered now. Pope Francis addressed that danger in his encyclical Laudato Si. The danger comes not just from the usual factors of rain or rocky soil that the parable speaks of, but the dangers come now from human carelessness and neglect. God is the sower. We believe in God, creator of heaven and earth. God still sows seeds of all kinds. God still loves our world. But we're the ones, more than ever, who need to till the soil and care for the land. Adam hid in the garden, unwilling to face the God of life. "Where are you?" God said to him. "Where are you?" God says to us. God says to care for the seed he sows and the beautiful garden he's planted.